All right. Can you first say and spell your name for me, what your title is?
Sure. Tom Ryan, Tom Ryan, Chandler Attorney and Election Law Specialist.
Okay. Mr. Ryan, you had Jenna Ellis, who's a former Trump employee. She's cooperating now with the prosecutors here over the fake elections case. What does this mean in simple terms?
What it means about Jenna Ellis doing this, cooperating with the Attorney General's office, is fairly significant. She was high up in the Trump election process. She worked with Rudy Giuliani. She worked with John Eastman and Ken Cheesebro, all of those attorneys, Sidney Powell. For her to cooperate is a significant turn of events. More importantly, I think in this case, the fact that the Attorney General has agreed to dismiss all of the charges means not only has she cooperated in terms of her testimony and her eyewitness version of events, but she's probably also provided documentation, or as we like to say, the receipts. That's fairly significant for this case.
So what about the other, I believe was it 11? What we're
No,
talking
the
about?
other 17. There were 18
17, yeah. So
together.
what about the other 16 now, I guess? Are their lawyers concerned?
Are they, if they're not concerned, if the other lawyers are not concerned for the other 17 defendants at this point, they should. It's always helpful to have for the state to have somebody who was involved in the actual crime to come forward and say, yes, we did, and here's how we did it. I will say one other thing, though. Keep in mind that these fake electors actually filmed their conduct and showed when they were signing this illegal document where they forged signatures and tried to make a claim that it was an official state of Arizona election document. They filmed their crime, so to speak. So between the documents that she's going to provide and her testimony that she's going to provide, together with the actual videotape of them committing this act, I think the state's case just got a whole lot better, even better than what it had already been.
Could this potentially have an impact on the president, former President Trump?
Well, that's a great question. Could this impact the President Trump and his current campaign? And I think the answer is yes. Look, state of Arizona has always been a state for the last, let's put it this way, for the last several election cycles has been, balancing between Democrat and Republican here. And so I think this makes it harder if we start showing that the last cycle, 2020, was something where Trump had his people out there doing criminal acts in a battleground state like Arizona. I don't see that as helpful. So yes, this is a very significant turn, not only for the 17 electors, the fake electors, but also for the Trump campaign and his prospects here in the state of Arizona.
How do you think Mays's people were able to convince her to cooperate so fully? Do you think they had something on her? I mean, take me behind the scenes.
That's a great question. How did they get her to cooperate so fully, so quickly? Please keep in mind the following two things. Number one, she is a licensed attorney in the state of Arizona, so her bar license would be at risk if she got convicted. And also, she's already pled guilty to a similar crime in the state of Georgia because, as you know, Fannie Lewis, I believe is his name, indicted Trump and others for the very same crime that occurred here in the state of Arizona. So it's not like she could get up on the stand and say, I didn't know what I was doing. She's already pled guilty to that in another state.
Okay, I think we pretty much covered the basics. Is there anything you want to add that I didn't ask you?
Yeah, how's Massachusetts Minuteman going to do in basketball this year?
Definitely not as good as Arizona or ASU.
Come on, you got to wait a minute now. Not too many teams going to be Arizona, right?
Sir, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Nice meeting you, Michael.